What are your thoughts on the future of AI? Do you think it's going to maybe slow down a bit or help SEOs a bit more?
Okay, so we use AI heavily. There's a few different things to talk about. One is how the platforms are using AI to find things. And let's talk about the bias that we can see inherent in that. I mentioned earlier that we have a lot of clients who are schools. Where I live, and maybe where you live, and maybe where other people live, one of the ways you search for a school for your kid is you go to a website called niche.com. It purports to be one of the many websites and maybe the best website that ranks schools. So you say, I want my kid to go to an international baccalaureate school, and I want them to be in lower Manhattan or southern Brooklyn, and I want a private school. Go. And it'll rank like the top 10 and it'll let you sort. That's great. Also, the thing about niche is that it's pay to play. The people who pay more to advertise get ranked higher, and you have to pay for premium listings. So it's not really a source of truth. Yet, when you go to ChatGPT and you look for things about, hey, find me the best international baccalaureate school in southern Manhattan or southern Brooklyn, and I want private and I want K through 12, show me. ChatGPT is getting their data from niche. So, which I'm not even against, but it's a true thing. Someone that told ChatGPT where to go and what kind of references to use had something like, let's look at the domain authority of these websites. That's probably one of the signals they use to decide someone's authoritative.
Right.
And niche is authoritative, but it's not unbiased. It is clearly biased by how much you spend. Admit this. You can spend more to show up higher. In that case, if someone's using ChatGPT as a search engine, that very specific use case for my industry and the clients we serve, we have to address that by now we have to work for SEO and their niche profiles, which is great. We'll do that. But that's like very different than what we were doing 10 years ago for SEO. I mean, we have a team of people that are working on niche profiles for schools and making sure that they have the right accreditations in there and making sure they have the right graduation rates and making sure they have the right percentage of students to get financial aid, putting all that onto niche. And that's not what SEO people were doing 10 years ago. They're doing it now, which is interesting to me that the industry evolves like that. So outside forces are using it, and we should trust that they're somehow biased. We're using it internally for data mining and for ideas. And then on top of that, we're building our own processes to make our staff better, to automate even more and more reporting. In the last couple of years, we invested in a reporting infrastructure I mentioned earlier. What we're automating is having actually Claude, not ChatGPT, having Claude analyze the client reports as a draft before the account manager sends it out to the client. It's not perfect. It's not unbiased. It doesn't have the context of the call we talked last week about how the new creative flight's starting soon. It only knows what it knows, which is looking at the report. But analyzing those reports for a client used to take 3 hours, or maybe it took 2 people an hour. So that's 2 people an hour. That's 2 hours of labor. Now it takes 5 seconds. And again, it still needs to be audited by a person. So we're leveraging all these internal processes by automating these things in AI. So it's the industry's using AI, we're using it internally, and everyone else is using it too. We all have to be using it, and it's all going to continue to evolve.